There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. This dimension is as vast as a kitchen and as timeless as a YouTube video. It is the middle ground between carbs and keto, necessity and boredom, and runs from the bottom of a man's stomach to the summit of his restraint. This is a dimension of culinary imagination, an area that we refer to as the hunger zone. An ordinary kitchen in an ordinary city. Witness within one Joseph McMahon, intent upon making that most basic of desserts, a cake. But little does he know his world is about to be turned upside down.
You know, you don't need to narrate the entire video. If you do, it's going to get a little long in the tooth.
Already the cracks begin to appear as he mumbles incoherently to no one. A man teetering on the edge of insanity.
I'm not talking to no one, I'm talking to you. Look, I know we're doing this whole Twilight Zone narration thing, but if you're going to narrate the entire video, it's going to get a little boring.
A man teetering on the edge of insanity, who is also kind of a dick.
You know what? This is my video, okay? So why don't you go wherever disembodied voices go when they're not talking, and I'll take it from here, okay? So, today we are going to be making pineapple upside down cake. It is one of my favorites, though I have not made it in 5 or 6 years, and I lost the original recipe, but I got a new cookbook with a new recipe that sounds super cool, so let's try it out, shall we?
The first step is to preset your oven to 350 degrees, adjust the rack to the lower middle position, and line the bottom of a 10-inch cast iron skillet with parchment paper. Next up, pineapple. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can get a fresh one like I'm doing, or if you want to save yourself some time and hassle, you can just get some pineapple of the canned variety. I won't judge.
You know who will judge, though? This guy. This guy's name is Nick, and Nick seems to think that if you're using fresh pineapple in your cake, you're playing a sucker's game, and it won't taste nearly as good as his pineapple upside down cake, which uses canned pineapple. Now, I admit, his cake does look pretty good, but I'm also sure it tastes like failure and disappointment. Just like your apple pie, Nick. So remember, kids, the next time you're thinking about judging someone for their food choices, don't be a Nick Dick, be a Joe Bro.
Now for the cake, you're going to sift 8 ounces of all-purpose flour into the bowl of your stand mixer. Add a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 4 ounces of unsalted room temperature butter. Then mix it on low for about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. A mere fraction of a human lifespan. But more than enough time for a recipe to fall apart. Like the fragile psyche of a man thrown into a world he cannot comprehend.
I swear to God, man, get out of my video. Then add 2 eggs straight from the fridge, 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened coconut milk, and a tablespoon of dark rum and mix for another 20 seconds. Scrape the bowl to make sure it's fully incorporated and then set aside. For the topping, add 3/4 of a cup of packed dark brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened coconut milk to a bowl and mix together. Pour into your skillet and then arrange pineapple pieces on top. Then pour your batter onto that and bake until brown and firm, about 55 minutes. When done, loosen the edges of the cake with a knife, place an inverted serving plate on top, and using oven mitts, flip the whole thing over.
I mean, it still looks pretty good, but it did not come out cleanly. Alright. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, this looks like a delicious, delicious cake. Let me just eat some of this pineapple here.
A man trapped in a world gone topsy-turvy attempts to make a cake to match. But instead of finding solace in his cast iron skillet, he finds only the endless silence of death. Here, in the hunger zone. Ciao.
What?